All right, let's try this one more time. I hope that maybe now it's better. So yesterday they were like, hey, let's stream in 1080, and maybe that's the reason why, I don't know, Stream OBS or Streamlabs were showing me that my CPU is going crazy. And you know, I'm streaming just from my Mac, so I guess I don't have the capabilities or like the proper equipment to stream in 1080. At least that's my theory. Let's see if that's what it was, because if not, then I don't know. I don't have any other ideas. So let me know if you hear me, if you see me, if the stream is not lagging, and we're gonna continue where we stopped, because that was no good for anybody to see it. Even though I was just doing stuff by myself, not necessarily like you didn't need to code along that. I mean, it was kind of like a very repetitive task, so you didn't need to necessarily like see everything, but I wouldn't be annoyed. So let's hope that this time it's better. Yeah, I can see you and hear you. Yay, Asma! Awesome! Cool. So apparently, no 1080 stream. At least not now. Maybe one day, if things are gonna get better or more solid or more serious, if this streaming is gonna be actually like a very long-term thing, then I can think of something else. But also, like, how do people stream coding not on their Mac machines? They probably just do like lower settings, right? Because I have quite a powerful machine. But anyway, let's get back to our coding. There we go. We were creating the icons, and I stopped in list icon. So we can continue now. What I'm doing, wait a second, list icon, and it needs to be an JSX. And that was for YouTube, that was not for us. This we're gonna copy, and this we're gonna paste. So, boom. This. And if at some point the stream starts lagging again, please let me know. Because I guess it's kind of like really ruining the quality, right? I would assume. So, but it's also like, you know, like in Zoom calls at work, it's like you don't know if it's your connection or if it's the person's connection. So you're kind of like, should I say something? Should I not say something? Okay, nice. And this one is a list icon. Thank you for your great tutorial. Oh, thank you, Sarah. That's so kind of you. I'm really happy that people are liking it. I'm putting a lot of work into that and a lot of my heart, and I really want everybody to get less scared of coding and seeing that we're just going through it together, you know? So this one is a list icon. I move my microphone for a second. There we go. I hope that didn't sound. So, why is this erroring now? It doesn't like this? Yeah, right. So let's select like a smaller icon to copy. Boom. We rename our SVG. So remember how yesterday I said that we could be using like Font Awesome or like the glyphicons of Bootstrap, but you never know if you're actually gonna find what you want. I mean, in case of Font Awesome, probably yes, because they have a massive library, but okay, I cannot multitask. But we're not gonna do that, and that's why we're doing this whole thing. And I decided to take you on the journey of doing like this copy paste things, which you often end up doing. And I promise we're almost done. We have just like 5 more icons, and then we can get to the fun part that I promised you, that I'm gonna show you something really cool. I was always thinking how to do that, and then I googled it and I found some people doing it, and I was very happy that I found it. And then I tried a little bit to see if that's actually gonna work, or if that's just like wishful thinking, and it did. And I really want to show it to you because I think it's like that's really like the thing about React and components and the reusability and flexibility and all of that that we can do with it. So I hope you're gonna be as mind blown and as I am, or maybe I'm just like very easily impressed. I don't know, but we will see. So SVG, cut it out, boom. Search icon. So 4 more to go. We can do this. JS6. Yes. Ooh, that's a small one. Nice. Yeah. So taking this. Also, probably because there are so many of them, there's probably a mistake somewhere. But it's fine. It's fine. We'll figure it out. Things are gonna break. We're not gonna know why. We're gonna get frustrated. We're gonna get confused. But that's just part of the deal. So this one is a stats icon. Two more to go. Yay, we're almost there, we're almost there. We're almost there. No. Copy one that is already existing, paste it. This is gonna be 10. I put it 10 because I see here that this icon's initial width is 10, that's why. This. And this one is USD. And we have our user icon dot JS6. Last but not least. Yep. So this one's gonna be 18 again. And class name and width. Yep. And then the fill is the color. Yep, good. Now copy. save it and rename it. Woohoo! And now what I like to do sometimes is to go to, so in Visual Studio Code, if you, I think, is it by default? Yeah, it's probably by default because Microsoft now owns both of them, both Visual Studio Code and GitHub. So I like to click on this one. Oh no, I cannot compare it, but okay. So I want to double check that the widths are fine and that we didn't mess them up. So I would check the SVG file and the respective JSX file and check that the widths are okay. 18, 18, 18, 18. This one has 18. This one too. Yep. Yep. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yep, all good. Cool. So why did we do all of that? Why do we even want these icons, and why do we need them as React components? So let's close all of them and let's go to our sidenav and see how we can use it, let's say here for this square at the bottom for our arrow icon. So if we go to our sidenav, open it up, and this one is our square that is representing the arrow. So if we check here our design, you see we have here on the side we have a lot of icons here, and then we have the arrow, and that's what we're going to be doing. So we can comment this div just for now, because I know that just deleting a div or deleting anything is like, I don't know, maybe too scary, maybe like you forgot something. So always like go with just commenting stuff. It's always easier, and you can always kind of like check what's going on. You don't need to keep it like in your clipboard with like copying and pasting. Yeah, I think I made my point clear. So arrow icon. I'm trying that it's gonna be autocomplete in here. No, it doesn't. Okay, arrow icon, and we need to import it. Import arrow icon from, we're gonna go one level up. We're gonna go to icons, and we're gonna go to arrow icon. Yep. So now if we refresh the page, then we should see stuff. Am I not running it? Yeah, I'm not running it. Oh, 1 second. Code alone. It's starting the development server. All right, cool. You see, we have our arrow. How awesome is that? So what we do see now that the arrow needs to be turned, right? And right now it's not turned. So this is what our classes are going to be doing. Let's maybe give it. So how are we going to apply the classes? Remember that in our where was it? So if we go to the arrow icon, we said we are expecting here the classes prop, and that's how we're going to be sending it, because then it's going to take the classes that we tell it to apply, and it's going to apply it specifically to the SVG. So let's do that. We're going to write classes and not class names, right? Because that's the name of the prop. And we're going to pass it styles.arrow. This still doesn't exist. We're going to create it now in our sidenav module. Let's do .arrow. And how do you do it? Transform, rotate, and we want to rotate it 90 degrees. Save it, and there we go. Such a small accomplishment, but always makes me so happy to see that things work as we expect them to work. So we rotated our little arrow. Now we have this bunch of icons, and I mean, so if we look at the code that we have now, we have tons of divs, right? And if we just like continue by putting like div, 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 what's the point, right? This looks like basic HTML to me, where we're repeating code, and React is actually here to help us not repeat the code and make it a little bit more readable, more efficient. So we could do stuff. So let's start with two icons, so you will see what I'm talking about, because I guess now it's all just in my head. So we have the dashboard icon. Let's use that one. Dashboard icon. And I think this one is the tasks icon. Let's import both of them. Dashboard and what was it? Tasks. There we go. So now if we go to our back dashboard icon, why not? Dashboard. Did I do a mistake there? Oh, I didn't name it dashboard icon. I just named it dashboard icon. There we go. Ooh, see? How cool is that? Okay, so first of all, let's keep it in their own divs maybe, right? Oops, what am I doing? Because now it looks like it's kind of like breaking our layout a little bit. Let's give it the class name of icon. So basically you could have just put it here inside, but let's comment those. Now if we go to our styles, we need to remove the background thingy. Yeah, there we go. We have our two icons here. Cutie pies sitting here. I don't think we need the widths. Yep, perfect. Nice. So what does the icon do? The icon doesn't do anything. Yeah, cool. Okay. Remove the styles.icon. Great. So, wait a second. What? Oh, because we have .panel.icon and that's what it's doing. Oh, okay. But we can do .panel and then we can do direct to. No, we cannot do that. No, you need to specify this. Okay, it's fine. Let's leave it with the icon then. That's absolutely okay. Cool. So you see that now we have the div, right? And inside of the div, we have the icon, and we can continue on and on and on and on and on. But like if we would add 3 more icons like this is the same, right? So we could actually save ourselves some space here and do it a tiny bit different. And let me show you how. So ideally, this would be a component. By this, I mean this part is going to be a component named icon, to which we will pass classnet, like the classes that we want to apply to it. And then what else? We would also pass the width and the color. As well as the icon, right? Because we want to know which icon to render. Is it going to be the tasks icon or is it going to be the dashboard icon? And let me show you, let's build this icon then first, right? So here in icons, or let's maybe create a separate component for that. No, we're gonna create it in icons. Icon.gs6. And in here, as usual, React component, icon, and this is a special component because in here we are going to import all of our icon components, so we will be able to use them. So let's do that first. Oh, that's a lot of stuff, right? So we need the cog, we need the dashboard, we need the tasks, we need the stats, we need the list. So arrow, basket, cog, dashboard, task, stats, list, user, and I think that's actually all. What we're going to be doing here is we're going to create a variable const. Let me I just need to double check how I did it before. So we're going to name it const components, and it's going to be an object in which we're going to give a key and a value. And the key is going to be the name that is going to define this icon somewhere here. So for example, if I say here icon arrow, I want the icon arrow icon to be rendered, right? And that's what I'm going to be doing now. So check it out. Here I'm going to do arrow is arrow icon, and it all has to be like no quotes, no nothing, because it has to refer to the actual component. So the JavaScript needs to be there. And we're just gonna do it to all of them. It's gonna do it like this, copy like that, paste it, and then I'm gonna take the first thing, paste it here, and then this one I think we can do lowercase. Yeah, that's some tricks in Visual Studio Code. Save it, and we got it. So now that we have our components, we want to accept a prop that is called icon, right? Because that's what we said we're going to be passing from here, the icon. And then we're going to remove this, and we're going to have const icon component equals, and we're going to use the variable that we just created, components, and we're going to access the one that is passed to us. So in our case, if we want to render the arrow here, then in here is going to be arrow. So it's going to be components.arrow. It's going to give us arrow icon. That's what icon component is going to be equal to, and then we're going to return icon component. Whew. What do you say about that? Whew. Alrighty, so that's the fun that I was talking about, you know? Very nice. Yeah, Anthony, thanks. Johnson, just wanted to say thank you for making your code alongs. I just started building something similar, so it's nice seeing a different side of things. Yay, cool. Happy to hear that, Johnson. Hi, Doshish. What's up? So, what are you thinking about this massive thing? I'm super proud of it. I didn't create it myself, but, you know. What if an icon prop is not passed? Yeah, that's so ideally you would also have like a prop types thingy where you could default it to something. We could actually define here that if a prop is not passed, then which one should it be? Let's make it an arrow, just in case, right? In a string. Just so we're safe. Hello, hello, good evening, good evening. Okay. So now we also said that, wait a second. So check our icon. I'm gonna put it here below. You can see that, yeah. So you see our icon actually expects classes, width, and color. I mean, optional, but still it needs to be passed down. So this means that this icon component will also need to accept all of those things. So what we can do, or an if on icon return null or default is nice. Yeah, you could also return null, that's true. But I prefer to actually return a component. I don't know. Although maybe actually returning an arrow can be even more confusing. But yeah, I don't know. I think like I saw that it's kind of like a trending thing to default props, but not in this way though. It would be like, let me show you which props I'm talking about. So there is this thing called prop types here in React, and that's how they look like. So you know what? Let's do it. I don't know. Do I need to like install it? I don't think so, right? It comes like already with React. Does it? No, probably not. Do I? React.proprice has moved into a different package since the please use the perfect. Okay, never mind. Regardless if it's gonna work or not, let me show you how it's gonna look like if you actually want to check the props like properly. So you would do icon dot prop types. You open an object and then you define that your icon prop is going to be prop type of string. So this, you know, this is like, well, I don't know if you know, but this is kind of like the basic, I don't know if it's shaping, but kind of like telling React that, hey, we're going to be expecting this. And usually you would need to write here is required. And then it's going to error if you don't pass it. However, if you omit the is required, then you can also do icon.default props, I think. And then you can define icon as arrow, like this. And I think that might be even better because that's kind of like, you know, the proper way of defining props and prop types and all of that. So I don't know if that works. Looks like it works. Let me see if I'm gonna, so let's import the icon and see if those props work actually. Icon, icon, icon arrow, and if I don't define the arrow, let's see the console. Oh, okay, so this is the SVG issues, but wait a second. Here I defined a default, so if I don't, it doesn't throw an error? Or, yeah, exactly, it's more explicit. But for some reason it still doesn't throw an arrow. Maybe because I don't have the prop types. Maybe that's why it's not working. But this would be like the syntax that we would be using. Anyways, not today, I guess. But let's put it here. We could put it to add like some prop types later on. So what is this issue? That's in SVGs. Yeah, in the sidenav, in arrow icon. Yeah, so that's another thing. Once you like convert those things to SVGs, to JSX, then you need to change the syntax a little bit. because that's how JSX works. It creates like its own attributes, kind of. You know, they're camel case, they're not kebab case. So you need to change them all. And that's probably gonna like happen more often once we start importing all of our icons. But since I already opened the console, let's clear it up. Okay, closing the console before we see any more errors. Not for now. All right, so what I was saying is that in the icon, we are expecting some kind of props. And in order to pass them to the icon, we will need to be passing them to this component and then to this component. So in here, we can say we're just going to be copying them. And you could do like, I think like this, props, or just like this, right? You don't need the, no, yeah, you do need. But then you end up with an issue that the props is deconstructed here, you know? So you would need to do props like this, and then you can use it. And then you have props.icon, and here you can do or for our default, which is, we don't need to do it right now then, right? Because we said that we're gonna be responsible people and we're gonna be using it. I broke it? Element type is invalid, expect a string. Why? Check the render method of icon. That's what we have. Why we cannot pass props like that? Pass on props, React. Import React component as back icon from backspace. Oh, but what would that be doing? I don't need the SVG, right? I changed it to JSX because I want to pass all the props. And I'm not really like a big fan this React component thingies. I don't know. I've never used that actually. So how do I pass it? Why I cannot press it? Can I just like spread it there? Pretty sure I can, right? Yeah, there we go. That's what I want. Component props and children. Is props.icon correct? Yeah, it should be, because here we are passing. We're not passing. Yay! Thanks, Anthony. We are not passing the icon. So this is the error that you're gonna experience if you don't pass the icon. Wait a second. So I just created the problem myself, right? So here we didn't pass it, and here I didn't do the or arrow because I said we're gonna be responsible. But yeah, okay, we're gonna keep the default then. What does icon component expect? So icon component is gonna be all of those components, whichever the icon is. Yeah. Yeah. I guess like you were trying to continue debugging, right? Yay. So bringing back the arrow. Anyway, what I wanted to do was to replace our icons, so like this thing, with just a single icon. So now comes the question, would you put the div inside of the icon component or not? I would say not, because what if you have places where you don't want to use the div, right? So the icon needs to be representing only the icon. So let's maybe try and put all of our icons here below and see how it's gonna work. So we have our dashboard, and this way we also don't need to like import all of them. That's also the fun part about it. Well, fun, it's like cool part about it, I would say. Not, yeah, cool. I'm gonna, so we can put here an icon arrow, which in our case we can just put icon, but that's not a good idea, right? Because we want to know which icons we're passing here. And the classes we're going to pass as well. Let's comment these ones and see if our arrow is still turned here, and that's going to be our kind of like ultimate test if our classes are passed as props. Yeah, they are. Cool. Because usually the arrow is pointing up, and if it's not, then it means that the classes that we specified here are being passed to our arrow icon SVG. Whew. Okay, I need a drink of water. 1 second. So we're also going to be doing kind of like a loop right now. Can you guess where? Or why? It's going to come in like 5 or 10 minutes. So dashboard, then what do we have here? Let me close the stuff. Tasks. Then what was that? Grid. List, basket, user, not all, stats, and cog. For icons, yeah. I mean, yeah. What icons nav you want? You mean the side nav? These ones, you see? And why did I break it again? Maybe it's not correct. Tasks. Yeah, I'm missing the grid. See, that's why you need default stuff. Grid is grid, but then again, with this kind of like amount of icons, there is a very high likelihood that something is gonna go wrong. Yay! What? Why you don't like it? Grid icon is not defined. Huh? Excuse me? Just defined it. Yeah, there we go. Okay, sometimes it's me, sometimes it's React. Okay. So now we don't have, do you use TypeScript? No, I don't use TypeScript. I would actually like to learn TypeScript, but as somebody very wise said, that you should learn stuff that you only gonna use, because otherwise like your knowledge is just gonna really evaporate. Or if you're a beginner, I guess, then you can just like test out the waters. But yeah, so far I didn't find like or the opportunity has not presented itself for me to learn TypeScript, so there was not really an option yet. There were actually some talks to make TypeScript a requirement at work, but then people were like, whoa, 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 wait a second, no. So it's a no for now, but we do have some people who are using TypeScript. I don't know, it's a little bit of a, like some very old school developers are like, well, fuck TypeScript, you know, we don't need it. But then there are like the youngsters who are coming and they're like, oh, let's do TypeScript and let's do this and let's do that. So I don't really know if it's like people who don't want to learn something new, or they just don't see the need for the stuff that we're currently doing in our department to do that, you know. But yeah, I'm still playing on the dangerous side of JavaScript with undefined types. That's the fun part of JavaScript, right? I like playing like the detective and to inspect where the Friday prod bug came. I asked because then you can define an enum of icons and then it kind of forces those icons only. Right, yeah. But that would be kind of like also the same as, well, not the same, but I think you can also achieve that with the prop types, because you can shape them and say which ones you allow or which ones are going to be there. But yeah, but TypeScript is probably a stronger option here. But no TypeScript, yes errors. That's the motto of my life. So you see that we had before, let me uncomment this, we had before every icon in a div, and now we don't. That's why we have like this kind of like everything in one place. So do TypeScript makes the bug hunt even harder. Oh really? I tried once to read TypeScript and it was a little bit it wasn't as easy, you know. I expected it to be a little bit easier, but for some reason it didn't go as smooth as I expected. So that was kind of like, we didn't start our relationship from the right foot. Let's put it this way. But maybe one day. Yeah, I guess it's like, if you find your way of working with tech with a specific stack, then you can be like best friends with them. But if not, then maybe it can be like actually very complicated and frustrating. Yeah, I guess that comes from like understanding the tech, right? It's not like the tech has something against anybody, or at least not yet. So we would need to wrap this every icon in a div in order to maintain these things that I wanted for it. But that's also not what we want to do, right? So what I want to do right now is to create a loop. And also, because I don't want to write all this icon, what I want to do is I want to create a const of menu, have it as an array, and in this array I want to have all of these icons from only this part, right? I don't care about the arrow, I don't care about the profile pic, but like this specific one, which is the actual menu icons, I want to put them in that variable, in that array, and I'm gonna show you why. So we put them, don't forget the commas, don't forget the dashboard, and don't forget the equal sign, comma, save it. Yeah, it's not gonna do anything because of this. Save. So now you see we have our menu variable that holds all the icons that should be there and also in the correct order that we want to display them, and enter map loop. So what are we gonna be doing? Check it out. You open curly brackets, you write menu.map, because that's how you do loops in React. I know if the syntax is new to you, welcome. This is how it's going to look like. So just get used to it. Then here you can write, I don't know, icon. I mean, look, this syntax is going to look shitty. Let me show you. Then we do this, and then we write icon, and the icon is gonna be icon. That's what I meant. That's why it's shitty. So that's going to give us the same effect as rendering just the icon like this. But we said that we want to have a div, right? So we need to open parentheses, because lines, then you have to open parentheses. And then, how many parentheses do I already have? Not enough. And then I'm gonna move this div up here. And no, too much? Or this one, right? Like this. So what we're doing is that we're telling React to find our variable menu, to loop over it, and every item is named icon. So on first iteration it's dashboard, on second it's tasks, on third it's grid, and so on. And for every item that this array has, render us this amount of code, which will have a div with a class name of styles.icon, which we said it's going to give us a margin bottom. And then inside of it, it's going to have the icon with this item, with the name of it. So it's exactly how we wrote here, icon, icon, arrow. It's going to be icon, icon, dashboard. Ta-da! Oh, very, 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 very nice. And the beauty of it is, for example, if suddenly your div is changing to an A tag, because most likely it's going to be an A tag, right? You save it, and then what? Why is this not liking it? The href attribute, yeah. We're going to just like mock it for now. Then, oh, because it's not a block element. Well, okay, now it's like messing up with our stuff. But anyway, if you would be wanting, I don't know, to change like the tag name of the div to something else, you would not need to go and change it like 8 places. You can do it just in one place, and it's all very, very neat, in my opinion, if so I say. So those were the icons on our side nav. Cute? I think it's cute. So let's maybe we didn't add our font. Let's maybe add a font here. Do we want to add a font? And you see, instead of like importing tons of them, we just imported one. And like if you want to go even further, you could extract this little bit into its own component. You want to do that maybe? Let's do that, because I feel that in real life applications this happens a lot. And actually in one of like my coding challenges when I was going through eBay, they actually mentioned that you could have broken down it even more. So I was like, oh, okay. So now I'm breaking down everything at work. So let's do side nav panel, side nav links, side nav links. And as always, we do index.js with edc, side nav links, save it. Then we create side nav links.jsx, rcc. It's really like a lot of like repetitiveness here. .module.css, don't forget, because we're doing moduled CSS, and import the styles. Cool. And what we're gonna have in the side nav links, I'll put it down here, is let's put this whole panel. I'm gonna put it here, and this way our side nav doesn't even need to know about our menu items. They're gonna be only in the side nav links, so in the thing that is responsible for it. Now we need to import our icon. We can remove it from our side nav, put it into side nav links, and Oh no, we are using the icon here. Well, okay, doesn't matter. We can keep it there. So save that. And in here, we're going to add our sidenav links component. See, in Visual Studio Code, if you just press enter, it auto-completes. Nice. And we need to take some of the styles that we applied in the sidenav, like for example the panel, which we don't have much, we just have this. And sidenav links, panel and icon, where actually we don't need the panel anymore because previously we needed it, but now we don't. Wait a second, we don't? Don't we have like a flexbox thing? No, we don't, right? Huh. So actually, I think this can be just like, can it be a fragment? Let me test something out and I'll tell you what fragment is. I just need to check if it's gonna break our, yeah, it does. Yeah. Div. Yeah, so it needs to be within the div. That's fine. So fragment, if you're asking what it is, it's basically, so in React you cannot do that. For example, I cannot add another div here and that's it. It's not possible. You have to wrap it all in one element for React. And in earlier versions, you were not allowed to do anything else than this kind of like solution by adding an extra div on top of it. But in later versions, they implemented something called fragment, which you also need to import. Or I think you can also do it like this syntax, which then you don't need to import anything, but it looks a little bit weird. And then you can, you know, have two divs. They implemented it because sometimes when you don't have it and you actually have a div, then it breaks your layout, because if you have flexbox that is dependent on that, then it can really mess up with your DOM. But not anymore, and we have to have the div. So in the sidenav module, yeah, we're only gonna have the margin bottom in here, which actually, since we're already talking about styles, we have Bootstrap. So we can just do margin bottom 4 or something like that, right? Refresh. See, nothing changed. If I do 2, yeah, it changes this. Awesome, we don't even need to define our own styling. Bye. Cool, so maybe we don't need that, right? Boom, boom. Very good, very good. Less files, even better. Gonna delete it. No needed. That was rhyming. So now we have our sidenav. Isn't it nice? It's not clickable because but I think actually deleting the links file, the CSS file, was premature, because later on we will probably need it. But you know what? Step by step, once we need it, we're gonna add it. No need to jump ahead just yet. Okay, what else do we need to clean up? Do we need to clean up something in the icons? Let me close and open it here. Yeah, I think this works pretty nicely. I think we could extend it with everything that we have here, right? Because later on we will want to use it. So let's do that. I see that we're missing options. So we have arrow, we have basket, we have cog, we have dashboard. We don't have downtrend. downtrend. Then we have list, we have options. We don't have search. And then stats. Yeah, we have stats. We have tasks. We don't have USD. And user icon we have. Cool. Now if we can sort it ascending, and same here. Nice. So now at least we have it all kind of like in a nice way. That is kind of like, oh, I need to find list, and you kind of like go alphabetically instead of like just guessing randomly where it is. All right. Do you have any questions? Let me know. I'm gonna be thinking what to do next. Okay. Actually, I'm pretty tired. I don't know why. It feels like this is like brain work, you know? Let's maybe add the font. Let's maybe like change some things up. So how do we add fonts? I mentioned that we found this Amico font, and I usually get all my fonts from Google Fonts because it's like a great free resource. And I selected the thickness of the font that I want. So I'm gonna have the regular one and the bold one. And you can select if you want it as a link or as an import, and you can just copy it. How awesome is that? Clearly a big fan of copy pasting. And then we go to our index, and in here we can put it below here, right under this comment. So above our React app, save it, indent it a little bit to look nice. And actually, let's change our title to Dashy Dash. So now it should update here. Yeah, and we should also change the icon to something. I just don't know to what, this favicon thingy, or not. So now that we have this font kind of installed, it's not installed, it's just Google or our app is gonna download it and then use it in our website. So let's copy this. They also give you how to use it in CSS. And we're gonna go to our index CSS. Yeah, see, we have here a font family, and we're just gonna drop it here, Amico. Boom, see how Dashy Dash changed a little bit? Beautiful, and the search as well. Now if we would like to, for example, to the Dashy Dash, we would like to apply one of the thicknesses that we have, which we put here 400 and 700. So you need to remember that, or you can always open it in index.html and check. Where is it? We said top nav here, and we can do, okay, let's check what's the element. So in top nav we have h5 and it's the brand. Okay, so we can actually change the style of the brand, and we can give it a font weight of 700. Boom, Dashy Dash is now Flashy Flash. Very nice, very nice. Yeah. Let's check if we still have some errors. Of course we do. Oh wow, that's a, I always forget that. So Each child in the list should have a unique key prop. That's a must. React, and I think also, I know also Vue.js. I don't know if Angular, I have no idea about Angular, but React and Vue.js, so let's say all modern JavaScript frameworks require a key when there is a loop. So where did we do this loop? Where did we do this loop? In icon? No. In sidenav links. There we go. So in here you have the icon, and why do you need a key? Let's say, well, the beloved by everybody, the famous to-do list or to-do app, you know, where you have kind of like checkboxes that you need to check. In order for React to be reactive and for it to be like very snappy and fast and find the right item and being able to just like change the DOM super fast and to the point, you know what I mean? It requires a key. So every element needs to have a unique key, and that's how React kind of like keeps in their memory to which element you're referring to once the user is clicking on it or doing whatever you allow the user to do with it. It always has to be unique, and I know that sometimes like people just do like key equals to index, but I do it too, but it's not a good idea. I mean, it depends how many loops you have, how many items you have, and I assume that here we're going to have several loops on this page, because if you check here, you see we have, for example, this one. So we have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then we have some products. Then we have this. So we're gonna have loops, and in order to make it like correct, then we're gonna define a key that is gonna be our icon, right? Because we can have the key as dashboard, tasks, grid, list, or if you want to be like super secure and a little bit more advanced, then you can do icon, and the second argument is index. So just like in a regular map loop, like in a JavaScript, and then you can do template literals, I know, and do this. You can do, let me show you what I'm doing. So I'm doing index and then dash icon. So this way, what? Why you don't accept my key? Oh, yeah, the key doesn't need to be here. The key needs to be on the parent element. There we go. So now if you inspect it, let's go to one of them. Oh, you're not going to see it here, but I think if we open, wait, I don't have React DevTools here. Oh, damn. Okay. So there is like a thing in Chrome that is called React DevTools, and then you can actually see the key and see how it works if you're interested in that. And also in general, I highly recommend you to have the React DevTools. I have it on the other browser, not here. So yeah. Now we don't have any errors in our consoles. Whoop whoop. Nice. Okay, I'm actually feeling a little bit tired, and I think I'm gonna wrap it up for now. Streams are not gonna be on the weekend. I'm gonna continue from Monday on. We're gonna stream every day of the week, of the working week. So Monday to Friday, every day, 7 o'clock, 15 minutes, so 7:15 p.m. Central European summer time. So I'm based in Germany. That's my time zone, and that's when I'm going to be streaming. And in the next stream, you can expect us to deal with the search field. We're going to make it look like this beauty here. And then we're probably gonna tackle maybe one element or two elements like this, given that my stream is gonna work. Yeah, because also not having like the good stream kind of like cut off my energy, I guess. Thank you, Rishaba. reshop, right? Sorry. Alrighty, so I'm gonna wish you a good weekend. Take care, relax, or I don't know, don't, whatever floats your boat. And I'm gonna see you Monday, 7:15-ish p.m. To continue with this super awesome dashy dash. I'm gonna push the code that we did this day. So in case you do wanna do like a code along by yourself later on and check it out and build it, then it's gonna be on GitHub. So yeah, thank you very much for joining. I'm gonna wish you a good day, evening, night, wherever you are. Stay safe and see you next time. Bye.